to week 3 for our course. So I do want us to go over our modules and what's expected for this week. So for module 3, we're looking at tables and databases. So please download our Lab Assignment 3 Word document. So for our Word document, we are going to make 4 maps for Lab Assignment 3. So for map 1, this is a tutorial from Esri, and map 2, another tutorial from Esri. For map 3, you are going to be looking at a story map and following the steps within the story map with the map viewer, which I will go through. And then map 4, we have the other map, manage data. But I want to cover map 5, which is about displaying crime data with heat maps. So again, please complete the following tutorial. Click on the link within the Word document. And here's part 2. Part 3, it states here no screenshot of map in part 3. Just answer the questions as you go through the story map. And then part 4, you will be managing data using an Esri tutorial, and then part 5, displaying crime data with heat maps. So for part 5, it's a little different. It's your necessary components are broken up within the module. So refer to the tutorial PDF and video on Canvas to follow along. This is the video, and let's go to the PDF tutorial as well as the other important document you need for that. So we have the PDF tutorial map 5. Let's download that. And then you will be needing to download the crime incidents in 2016 July.csv. So let's download that one as well. Okay. So now that we have it both downloaded, let's go into ArcGIS Online. So again, once you sign in to ArcGIS Online, you will go to the Map tab, and a Map Viewer will open up. So for the tutorial, it is using the older Map Viewer. So before Map Viewer, there was Map Viewer Classic. So please follow along with my video as I relate it to our new Map Viewer. So again, step 1, find and download a CSV file, which I have provided for you on Canvas, which is this file here, Crime Incidents in 2016. And then save it within an appropriate place within your computer. So I have mine here, Crime Incidents. And then step 2, create a new map. But before we create a new map, I want us to upload and publish the CSV file. So I am skipping step 2 and going straight to step 3. So let's do this side by side to make it easier for all of us here. Okay, so let me minimize it. So for step 3, it says in the upper left corner, click home and click content. So here we're going to click on the -3 and we're going to click content and click add item and click from your computer. So click on new item. I already have it downloaded here, but for the purpose of this lab exercise, I do want us, I wonder if I could drag it from here. Okay, that worked out perfectly. So drag it from your downloads or from your desktop. So you will be adding the crime CSV and create a hosted feature layer or table. Doing it in this option, it will show the points on a map. So we'll be looking at vector points. So let's click next. And here for our fields, this looks good. Again, these are our field names, so our attribute table, and the type. So let's click next. And then for our latitude and longitude, this looks good. Click next. And again, I already have this downloaded twice, so I am going to put my initials here and click save. Let's see if it will go in that folder. Okay, so if you have an error, just choose a different folder or create a new folder. So now we can open up our table or our hosted feature layer in Map Viewer. Okay, so now within layers we have our layer here, and I do want to rename this. So let's rename it Crime Incidents in 2016, so it can be easier to look at our data when we rename it. So now let's go back to step 2 and save this map the way that it should be saved. So let's go to title here. Okay, I thought I could read, oh, save and open. Let's click save and open, save as. And then for our title, we are going to type in crime in Washington, DC. And then for summary, we are going to, I will copy and paste this. So just follow the steps here. And then for tags, we could type crimes. Okay, and let's click save. So now we have our map saved, and we could start working with this data. Now let's go to step 4, examine the attribute table. So it's very important each time you add a new layer, you look at the attribute table to see the information provided. So again, click on the 3 dots, click show table, and I will minimize here, collapse. So I will be collapsing this so you could see the table. You can press on this button to expand. And here we have our attribute table. And we have in total 3,429 crime incidents. Again, this is crime data, and we're looking at the location of where this crime data occurred. So it's very important to look at your fields to see when the crime occurred, what type of offense it is. So here we have our different options. such as theft auto, burglary, motor vehicle theft. And we have the ward where the crime took place, in which police ward area, and then the district. And when the incident took place and after the incident took place. So we just examined the attribute table together, and now you can start answering the questions from our Word document. And the questions are similar or exactly the same from the questions on this tutorial. So how many total crimes were there in July 2016? Well, you find this answer by looking at the total records found within your attribute table. So the total crimes that occurred in July 2016 were 3,429 crimes. For the second question, how many wards are there in Washington, D.C.? So this is when you go through your attribute table and you look at your fields and you find the ward field. Press on the 3 buttons, and I want you, from here I do want you to go down and to click on information. So when you click on information, it tells us, I feel like it's a little bit higher up, but it tells us the field type. It's an integer field type. The name of the field, which it's labeled ward, and the statistics. So you will be using the statistics to answer this question, question number 2. So again, like I just mentioned, it tells us the number of crimes recorded in the records, 3,429. And here we have our minimum value for the ward and the maximum value for the wards. So that is where you're going to get your answer from. So how many wards are there in Washington, D.C.? Well, based on the statistics of that field, the ward field, it states there are 8 wards. And it also tells us the average and standard deviation for this field. And again, you can confirm that many wards when you look at sort descending and sort ascending. So sort descending will tell us the maximum value here for how many wards. So we have 8 wards, but again, I would like you to use the statistics information to get your answer. So there are 8 wards. Now it states on the ribbon, click Add and click Browse Living Atlas Layers. So we will be changing the base map. So again, click on My Content and click Living Atlas, and we are going to search for this particular base map here. Human Geography Detail. So I found it right here. Let's click Add. Actually, you have to click on the card and then click Use as a base map. So now it is being used as a base map. So do not click Add, instead click on the card and click on Use as a base map. Okay, let me close it and go back to layers. So now we have it used as a base map. I do want to zoom to our layer to make sure we are concentrated in our data. So again, click on the 3 options, click zoom to layer if your positioning moved. And then it says click the back arrow to return to the contents pane. Okay, so now we are going to be creating a heat map of the total crimes in July 2016. So to make it into a heat map, let's look at effects here. First, we need to select our data actually. So that our data is not selected. For it to be selected, we can click on this layer and then we know it's selected by the blue highlight. So make sure your layer is selected here. So if you go to styles here on our toolbar, you can go down and click heat map. So now we can see our data as a heat map and the concentration of the crimes in Washington, D.C. So again, just click on that. And then we could also change the symbol style of the heat map if needed. But this is fine, we'll leave it as is. So let me expand that, close this, so click done after. So from this data, you can answer question 3 and question 4. Now let's go down to step 7. For the crime incidents in July 2016 layer, click the filter button. So you find the filter button here, filter, and we are going to look at specific criterias using filter. And in our lecture class, we were going over queries. This is the same, but in Map Viewer, we are using filter. So for our filter option, we want to click Add New, and we want to make sure our condition is this offense is theft auto. I'll highlight it here. So this is what we want our condition to be. So for our first drop down arrow, we are going to find the offense field. This is the offense field, and we want our offense to be theft auto. Here it is right here. So before I click save, I do want you to keep in mind with our attribute table. Let me close this. So again, our total records, our total crimes, it's 3,429. But once we use this filter, we are going to see the records decrease. So let's apply it. Now our records decrease down to 1,002 records because we only want to look at the crimes that are associated with theft auto. And it's good to double check your attribute table to see if it applied, your criteria applied. So let's go to the offense, and again, when we look at offense, it only lists theft auto. Okay, so that's one good way to check if your criteria filter worked. So again, this will filter your crime data to show only auto thefts. And let me see. So now we are looking at data that's only theft related. So let's go to zoom to layer. So now that our filter applied, open the attribute table. How many crime incidents are auto thefts? So that is question 5. Again, go to your table and you will find your answer here. There are 1,002 crimes related to auto theft. And then again, answer question 6. Where would you direct personnel to crack down on auto thefts? Again, this is shown on your map. Here. So look at the data and explain where you can find, where you would send your direct personnel to crack down the auto thefts. Now it wants you to change the filter expression to offense is burglary. So go to filter and clear it, or you don't have to clear it, but change this to burglary. So find that here. Click save. And then we could see that our heat map adjusted to the amount of burglaries here in Washington, D.C. And then you could also look at your attribute table to find the answer, like how I mentioned earlier. Now it wants us to change the style button and change the style to location single. So let's go to styles and then change how our map viewer looks. So let's go to location single symbol and click done. Again, these vector points are showing us showing us burglary. Again, look at your layers and the table to see what your table is highlighting here. Okay, so we're looking at burglaries for offense here. And then the heat map may need to be reset for a new range of data. So now, so you can answer question 7, how many crime incidents are burglaries and where would you direct personnel to crack down on burglaries? So for step 8, now it wants you to use a double filter. Change the filter to word is 8 and click add another expression to do only offenses theft auto. So now we're using a double filter. So click add new. And here we could see the word and. So again, let's find your field ward is, we want it to be 8. Word is 8 and the offense, and we want all of the following to be true, so we could use the and expression. And the offense is theft F auto, which we have already looked at, but we want to look at it within word 8 and click save. So now we could see word 8 is found here. And after you applied the filter, it's asking you how many auto thefts are there in word 8. Again, look at your table, show table, it will show you the total records. And where in word 8 are auto thefts most concentrated. So you can explain that. And then it wants you to repeat the steps 1 through 5 for burglary. So again, to do that, you still want to find out burglaries in word 8, so you can leave this alone, but change your offense to burglary to get those answers. Okay, and then click save to get your new answer by using the table. And after you're done answering the questions, I do want you to save it as a heat map and to clear your filter. So let's clear all our filters to see the total concentrations in Washington, D.C. and save it as a heat map. Click done. And like I mentioned before, you will get full points if you print this map and take a screenshot of it. So click print And then you can adjust your map here that fits appropriately for Washington, D.C. And then you must include your name, copyright, and include your legend and north arrow. Okay, and click export and your map should be saved. So please save your map, your final map at the bottom as a heat map, and this is how it should look. And then we have our legend here showing us dense, the highest crimes occurring in Washington, D.C., and then sparse, which located on the outskirts. Okay, thank you for watching.